Welcome to this week's Eternal Monday and another episode of First Drafts. Today we have Salamence EX taking on Wailord. If I'm not mistaken, these are both from Journey together, are they not? So that's kind of fun. Salamence is one of those cards that in standard looked fun because it had some crazy damage attacks, but ultimately wasn't going to do any good because it was so hard to power up. In Eternal, though, I think we have a shot at making it work. So we're going to give it a go. So up first, we have Salamence EX itself. Salamence EX has Wide Blast for Fire Double Colorless. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Don't apply weakness or resistance for benched Pokemon. So you're doing a 50 spread, which piles up very, very quickly. And then for those bigger knockouts, Dragon Impact does 300 damage, and that's for Fire, Water, Double Colorless, and you discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. So that's our main attacker. We do have access to Double Dragon Energy, which means that we can attach with just 2 attachments. We can get Salamence ready for Wide Blast, or if we have 2 attachments and Welder, we can get an attachment and Welder. We can get Dragon Impact all powered up too. So Double Dragon Energy attachment and then 2 Fire Energy from hand. It's a lot to ask for the deck, but it is theoretically possible. We also have access to Holland's Magneton. So if we do have an extra Fire Energy laying around somewhere, like let's say we touch a Fire Energy with Welder and we need to get an extra energy on, and we have this 2 Fire Energy on Welder, we can bounce one of them with Holland's Magneton and suddenly have 2 energy instead, which would make Wide Blast accessible in just a single turn. To make ourselves a real menace, we also have Salamence. This is an older Salamence. It has the ability Scornful Storm. Once during your turn before your attack, you may have your opponent discard cards from their hand until they have 4 cards left. So basically, you're just going to shred their hand if it seems necessary. So if you have a deck that you're going against that likes to pile up cards, we're looking at you, basically every control deck ever. You may not like that so much. And then finally, of course, is everybody's favorite control card, Garbotoxin Garbodor, which everybody should know at this point because it is a staple in the format. If you have a tool attached to it, basically it's shutting off the abilities of Pokemon in play. So if you do have Garbotoxin in play, obviously you're not going to have access to Salamence, but the point is you do have access to most of what you need. So, and then Wailord.
Well, we're coming in strong with Wailord, who is a stage 1 Pokemon, and his attack is Hydro Pump, and this attack does 50 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Now it's going to be, and it does plus 10 for itself. It has 240 HP, and I think it's going to be very easily thanks to our friend Frostmoth, who only works on the bench.
So it can work from anywhere, but it only attaches to water Pokemon on the bench.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got a good old runner-up Radiant Greninja, which of course is going to be doing some stuff too because it does have its ability to conceal the cards in which I can discard any energy card from your hand and draw 2, and it has its Moonlight Shuriken, which discard 2 energy from this, and it deals 90 damage to 2 Pokemon, whether it be in the active or on the bench. So there's that. Then we got our trusty Max Rod to get back all of the energy or Pokemon back from our discard and back into our hand. And then we got, of course, our Claydol for reshuffling purposes to...
Well, Claydol doesn't shuffle.
It doesn't shuffle,
No,
but
Claydol is a draw card. So
it does a draw engine. So if you don't want to, constantly use your resources like your hand, use Claydol. It's very useful, very strong. Yes, he does have a retreat cost of 2, but there's ways to make him free.
So yeah. So Radiant Greninja and Claydol, I think everybody knows at this point, but
Yeah.
the deck is what it is. We're gonna get shuffled up, and we'll get into our first games with these decks. All right, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails it is. You choose.
I will go second.
Alrighty. Well, this could be quick. After.
Drop a turn.
For a 4 turn. Going to Welder. 4, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rare candy. Your abilities are now shut off. And then I'm gonna pass to you. This is off dive.
Yes.
Okay.
Really want to do that.
Just because you have no energy attached to the other, right?
No,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
correct. Don't want to do that either. Okay. Liana.
Honestly, I love it. My hand was
Yeah, I was like, do I
pretty not great.
want to do that or do I not want to do that? That's to be determined. Yeah. Done that.
You know what I love?
Hmm.
The fact that Frostmoth is off.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
The fact that Radiant Greninja is also off. Beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. We're gonna draft a turn. Bench putting on.
Mm-hmm.
Attach double dragon energy to Salamence.
Hmm.
And attach floatstone to Trebush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do this. Little. Baltic.
It does 50 damage to everything, right?
Oh, your bench. Yeah.
Only to the bench, not to
To
the
the
other.
bench. Says this attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Just occurs to me I could have done that with Brookwood Hill. I'm an idiot. Cool.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
what?
that's literally the reason you run
Really?
this version of it too. Excellent job.
I mean, yeah.
I'm an
sorry.
idiot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. That would have actually been beneficial to me too.
It probably would have been
No,
beneficial.
not probably it would have been, because the next turn I could use that level ball to get to play it all. But I didn't, so I'm an idiot.
I'm sorry, but that was a bad misplay.
It was a bad misplay. I am going to wide blast you though. So
Okay.
all of your bench Pokemon are going to take 50 damage.
Okay. Draft a turn.
What you got?
I'm a versus seeker.
You can hit me with Ino or Irida. Decisions.
No, I gotta make one soon anyway. Okay, I'll do Irida.
Okay.
Use Irida.
So you're getting a water Pokemon and
An
an
item.
item.
I see item. Oh, it had to be that Pokemon. Terrific. Suffered.
Mm-hmm. Give me those words I want to hear. I'll just pass to you.
No.
Hear it,
I
hear it.
can't do that either. I'm gonna die.
Let me hear those words.
I'll do that.
I successfully baited out the field door. Good to know.
Pass.
Okay. Drop a turn. Attach
God.
Bloodstone to Garbiter.
Oh! Yay!
I'm sure you were waiting for that.
I was.
You were really hoping for it.
I know, I was.
Wide Blast, knocking out Frostmoth, and Baltoy, and then your Wailord now has 100 damage on it. That's 3 prizes for me. I just took out a VMAX, sir.
Yeah.
I think this deck does not like you.
No, it does not. And frankly, the one card I was looking for is already prized, so I have no protection from that sucker now.
I mean, it wouldn't matter.
And no, it wouldn't matter.
Garbotoxin shuts it off anyway.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it already does, yeah.
That's the whole reason the deck runs Garbotoxin.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll just play it out though. It's not gonna be a good video, but oh well.
It's first drafts. Sometimes the decks don't work right.
It never does, yeah.
Are you just trying to feed the prizes?
Yes. Yes. At this point, yes. There.
Oh, so you're just giving me game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you. Yeah, but I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush. There's no point. Yeah. Pass turn.
For giggles.
Okay, I don't see the logic in that, but okay, fine, whatever.
I just literally top decked it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good. I'm gonna wide blast you for game because it's gonna knock out Snow.
Yeah,
Snow,
it's
Snow.
not, yeah.
And that'll take me my last 3 prize cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
My prize cards were kind of bad.
they
were horrible.
What were the first 3? Oh yeah.
But they weren't great.
Yeah.
The Lappers being prized and the one of 3 rare candies and one of the
Oh yeah,
prize.
my pricing was not that great either because it was the 6s. It was a basic energy, Nessa, my max rod, my bloodstone, my superior, and my Manaphy.
I think you could have had worse. Nessa being in there is not great, but in this matchup, I don't think it really mattered.
Yeah, no.
Let's look at these seconds.
Yep.
Up first is Wailord.
Yes.
I feel like you probably need a stealthy hood in there.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Just be able to just ward off anything. But
Well, stealthy hood protects you from the effects of your opponent's abilities, like
yes.
Garbotoxin.
Yes, obviously.
Which would let Frostmoth continue to use its ability at least for like a turn.
Or I would honestly just put that on my Manaphy and to just be able to just use the second attack and deal 300 to my face. Yes, it's 300 damage to the face, but it's in the active spot. It's not going for multiple targets at that point. So
yes. I mean, it would be something.
It would be something, and it would make you return energy to your hand, which I honestly know.
It doesn't really hand. It is discarded.
It gets discarded. Okay, so then I would, by my estimate, I know what you would discard is just the fire energy. You wouldn't discard.
No, you just get a double dragon. Your deck runs 4, so you just run because you're discarding 2 energy. Double dragon counts for 2 energy, so you just discard a double dragon.
Yeah. But you don't have ways to search it out.
I have plenty in hand.
I figured. So, yeah. Honestly, if it wasn't for, I don't blame pricing. Pricing was meh. Your pricing was on point.
Great.
It wasn't great either, but you still managed to get it going either way. So I was like, okay, do we either, because I had 2 supporters. I had either Iona you or Irida, and I'm like, okay, I can just get Irida to get basic setup, and then Iona you next turn.
My first welder getting me what it got me was really, really big. Because without that first welder doing what it did, I think I would have been dead in the water. I very desperately needed to get Salamence out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And I did.
When I Iono you on my second turn, what did my Iono give you?
It gave me pretty much everything I wanted.
I'll give you everything that you needed? Okay.
Well, everything I wanted, but yeah.
Okay, wanted is needed. That's understandable.
Yeah.
That would be it. Any recommendations on what I would need to take out to add in the tool that you just named? Please let us know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make those changes. Going after it now.
You might be able to go down narrative for it.
In Irida,
okay.
Maybe yes.
But yeah, your deck did not like mine.
No,
mine
did no.
Mine was thrashing the hell out of yours.
It beat me senseless. Yeah.
My deck, Salamence, was designed to deal with evolving decks like yours. A combination of the wide attack and the Garbotoxin. It's literally what it's meant to do. And it's it feels like it's really good at doing that, actually.
Yeah.
Although, it did feel a little bit shaky at the start there because I just started Ditto Prism and then I had to top deck into the Bagon, but it did work.
It did work, yes.
Yeah, double dragon energy was there. I had fire energy. I never did see heat factory or scorched earth for draw, but I also didn't see very many fire energy. So
I mean, it comes with the territory, but you have plenty of draw support for this deck that it wouldn't be inconceivable that you wouldn't have access to fire energy. So there's that.
I mean, those first three turns, that turn, especially when you ironed me, I had jack shit in hand.
Nothing.
I would have been able. I'd have been dead in the water without the iron.
Okay.
I would have had to top deck into an energy to just get to 3 energy from Wide Blast.
Okay.
And that would have been not likely. I mean, I could have top decked a draw supporter, I guess. But this deck only runs Welder, so I would have needed that and Welder.
Yeah.
Which basically means I needed a draw card, which
Yeah.
Where I needed energy really. Yeah. I did contemplate getting the baby Salamence out at you. Like if you gotten set up at all, because then it would thrash your hand and force you to discard all the energies constantly.
Yeah.
Which would have been kind of beautiful, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you would have probably just attached it as best you could. So I don't know how effective it would have actually been.
Yeah.
What else we have?
I will point out that we both misplayed when you were using your lovable and Brooklet Hill was out. That was a bit funny on your end.
I also just realized right now that the water bait can come out with Brooklet Hill because I run Brooklet Hill myself.
Yes.
I didn't really need it, thankfully, but I could have gotten it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that is it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little first drafts take on both Wailord and Salamence. Mm-hmm. Hopefully at least Salamence gets to join the meta and do some things. Yeah, that's going to be it for today. We'll see you guys in the next one.